Hi guys. What I want to discuss today is the idea of what the center of the scene is. Because when you start Open Unity and you open up a new scene, you first have this big gray area, but every time you place objects into the scene, they're going to go somewhere. So, previous tutorial we had added a terrain, so I'm just going to add a 3D terrain object again, and by default, if I press reset, it resets the position to 000 and rotation scale to 111. Now, if I look at the terrain settings, I'm going to see how big the terrain is. And the terrain is 500 units by 500 units. Okay? So when I put the terrain in there, the terrain kind of plopped in at position 000. 000 is the center of the scene universe. Okay? Now I'm going to drop another object in. This time I'm going to drop in a sphere. All right? And I'm going to reset the sphere position to the center of the universe. And right now you can't see the sphere, but if I double click on it, you'll see, whoop, the sphere is on the corner. Okay, right here, this position is the center of the universe. That means our terrain is just on the tip of the center of the universe, and then it goes outward. It goes outward that way. So what I want to do, if I was going to work on a scene, is put the terrain. I want to put the middle of the terrain into the middle of my scene universe. That way, when I'm putting objects in, I don't have to keep moving them off from the corner into the, over my terrain. So that's kind of easy. I just click the terrain. I know that the size of it is 500 by 500. So as you can see here, this is the Z, and this is the blue is the Z, and the red is the X. I'm just going to put for the X minus 250. I pull it back, and let me just do you guys a favor and make the ball bigger. I'm going to make the ball 10, 10, 10 so we can see it from far away. Here, I can see the ball from far away. So I moved X back. Let me just show you again. Sorry. Reset. Okay, so I move X. You could also drag this to move things. It just takes a little longer. But I'm going to move it back half of the size of 500 is minus 250. And then I'm going to move the Z axis back. See this red axis. I'm just going to, Z is the blue axis. I'm going to move that back minus 250 as well. And now you can see the center of the universe is the center of my terrain. Everything kind of fits nicely. Center. Now, the other thing I probably want to do, if you look at this terrain from the side, the center also has a, an up-down height. And usually when I put objects in, I want the terrain to be the ground below. But the center of the universe is right there at 0, 0, 0. So I'm going to move Y. I'm going to move it down by like 30 is good, or maybe 50. 50. Okay. See that? Um, so there you go. Now whenever I add new objects, I can add another 3D object to the scene. This time I'll add like a cylinder. And let me give it a bigger size, 10, 10, 10, so we can see it from far away. See it's getting bigger there. That will be in the center of the universe as well. Well, you want to go to the object, double click on it. So you see there's a ball, here's a cylinder, and the cylinder, I just want to reset it to the center. Oops, I also reset the size, 10, scale, 10, 10. That way, at least when I'm making my game and I'm putting things in, they'll be starting off in the middle of space. Then I'm going to take the sphere. I'm going to show you a way you can move objects around with the mouse. There's these arrows if you just want to move it on that axis. I click the blue arrows to move it on the blue axis. Then I can just click the square and move it on both the blue and the red axis. Or I click this blue square and move it on the, the axis that the square is on. So just the easier way. If you want to visually place things, you could do that. So you see that yellow square, I click on it, move it. You do the same thing with this. Only thing you have to remember is that you put your cursor for the scene on the move icon, and then you kind of can move things like that. Then this other one, this hand icon, is a way to move the whole scene up and down, up and down. Okay. This other one here is a way to rotate an object. I just select on the Y, or I select on the blue axis, select on the red axis. I can move things by my eye. Or I could go over here like this and, oops, that's scale. I make sure I'm on the right one. Put that back to 10. Move on the rotation X, and I could move objects like this, and or I could just type in a number if I wanted to, like 45 degrees, you know. So these are different ways I could place and move objects around. Bye.